Welcome to the first episode of Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're your hosts, Shelby White and
Julien Forletta.
And we're here to talk about CinemaCon.
So we missed it in person, unfortunately, but we're just going to do a quick recap of all the real important points that happened over the event.
The first big thing we want to talk about that was announced that was probably already going to happen, but we just wanted to make sure. Ben Affleck, starring as Batman in his own film. He's going to be writing, directing, and starring in it. That's perfect.
So this is actually not really startling news, as Shelby said already, but it does confirm that obviously the studio was very happy with Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman, even though the movie did get some mixed reviews critically. Yeah. It did well in the box office, but this kind of just confirms that he's going to be, at the helm with Batman moving forward with the series. So.
Staying with superhero news, we have Deadpool 2 officially announced. Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller to return. Hopefully have a much bigger budget this time because of how well it did.
Not another big surprise.
Yeah,
there was no way that those two are not going to come back for the sequel after the mass success of the first one. Something
that we knew was coming, but now there's a little bit more added to it. There's going to be more Avatar. James Cameron went on stage at CinemaCon, and he announced that he's now adding a fourth sequel. So we originally had 2, 3, and 4 all filming together. Now we have a fifth one, and these are going to be coming sequentially 2018, 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Right.
Moving on, which is big news for us, we really are anticipated for this movie is Passengers.
Yes.
With Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, who need no introduction, of course. And so this movie's actually been blacklisted script-wise for quite a few years, and they finally picked it up. And listening to the two of them on stage talk about it, they said it's one of the best scripts they've ever read.
Supposedly you heard that they showed a brief trailer at CinemaCon. We have looked over the internet for it, and we're unable to find it. But supposedly the chemistry between them two in the trailer was outstanding.
One little mishap that happened actually at CinemaCon that we heard of. They planned on showing Now You See Me Too, the sequel to the original, and 15 minutes in, they plan on showing the entire thing. 15 minutes in, the lights go off, the screen goes black, or the lights come on, the screen goes black, everybody gets evacuated. Apparently there was a backpack, suspicious backpack or something that was going on in there. So that didn't get fully shown, unfortunately. Apparently at CinemaCon they were very highly anticipating animation for 2016. It should be a great year. It should be a great race at the end of the year for the Oscars. But the biggest one that they showed right now, Pixar finally brought back Finding Dory. They showed the first act of the movie, the first 27 minutes, and critics loved it so far. Everybody in CinemaCon loved it, so that's very highly anticipated. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, what's crazy to think is by the time this movie is released, it'll be 13 years from the original film.
But moving on, with more animations coming out this year, we have some footage was shown for the movie Sing, the movie Storks, which only had a brief teaser and everything like that. Lego Batman with Will Arnett, which I personally love the Lego movie, so that should be fun. Will Arnett is awesome. He's so funny. The Secret Life of Pets, highly anticipated with Louis C.K. and everybody. That should be great. That looks hysterical.
Original piece from there.
Trolls, I heard. We didn't really get a real teaser with Trolls, but I heard they showed some footage on that, and that got pretty well reviewed, which is good. And moving on from that, Sausage Party.
Right. Which is one I want to talk about a little bit, because obviously it's not your traditional animated movie.
Yeah.
But, obviously for an age group older, it looks great. And it was screened, I heard, at South by Southwest, not fully finished. But from what I heard, it's hilarious. And I'm being a big fan of Seth Rogen in that group. I'm highly looking forward to seeing this movie.
Yeah. Another one I want to talk about, Ratchet and Clank, is coming out in 2 weeks. Actually, that's a video game to movie adaptation. So you got people in this movie like John Goodman, Paul Giamatti, Rosario Dawson. It should be a fun one. Big animation news. Benedict Cumberbatch, or Benedict Cumbergrinch, if you want to call him that, is going to be voicing the Grinch for a new animated movie for 2017. That'll be next year. More news came for Despicable Me 3, actually. The first two were great. The Minions movie, hilarious. But moving on with the third one, eventually they're going to be adding a twin brother for Gru, named Drew.
Right. The villain will be played by Trey Parker, which if you know animation at all over the last 20 years, you know who Trey Parker is. No. He's one of the creators, along with Matt Stone, of the South Park series. So we have some other, back to, R-rated adult comedy news, Zac Efron. will be starring in Baywatch, and then Mike and Dave need a date for the wedding.
Date for the wedding.
That will be 4 R-rated comedies in 1 year for Zac Efron.
Yeah, because if you add Neighbors 2 and Dirty Grandpa to that list, that's 4 raunchy R-rated movies. Should be fun.
Speaking of possibly another sequel, this one is greenlit, John Wick 2. And you were
Can't
saying
wait.
You saw something.
They showed a trailer apparently at CinemaCon for John Wick 2, and if you jump back to the first John Wick, he had 77 confirmed kills in that movie on screen that we know about because they killed his dog. But moving on from that, they showed a little trailer, and in that short teaser alone, he killed 12 people by shooting them in the face.
Right.
So you could say they're probably going to up the kill count on this movie. Moving on from that, La La Land. This was definitely highly anticipated for the two of us, only because we loved Whiplash so much.
Which was a directorial debut.
Yeah, directorial debut and writing debut for Damien Chazelle, who is now, this is his sophomore project, and he's got Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, who are returning. They're reuniting.
They did a couple movies. Crazy Stupid Love, Public Enemies.
Yeah.
So, we obviously know they have prior chemistry. And this is a big thing, you see guys who have major success like that doing their first movie. You're really interested to see how they follow up.
We'll wrap up with that. That's news from CinemaCon.
Stay tuned. Definitely going to be doing more movie reviews, and as new information comes out,
definitely
dropping news. We'll do short clips about it.
Exactly. So. If you have any comments or likes, whatever, leave them below. Tell us what you want to hear more about. We can go in depth. Anything we talked about today, Deadpool 2, Batman, Solo, anything like that. If you want to hear more about it, let us know in the comments below.
Thanks, guys. See you later.